Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. My name is Kelsey Kolbenschlag. I am the Sales Operations Manager here at ArchVision. And I'm joined today with Debbie Folk, Account Manager, and Mike Hoppe, Creative Director of Geopogo. We are here today for Geopogo Cities, a new AI tools and city design breakthroughs. Mike is returning with us. He is going to be showcasing highlights of the latest features and updates and the amazing capabilities of what Geopogo Cities can do. A little bit about Mike. He is Creative Director of Geopogo, where he leads the development of innovation 3D geospatial visualization tools powered by Unreal Engine 5. With a breakthrough in architectural design and 3D graphics, Mike brings a unique blend of creativity and technical expertise to help architects, urban planners, and designers transform their CAD and BIM models into stunning renderings with photorealistic cityscapes from around the world. Passionate about simplifying complex workflows, he has been instrumental in shaping Geopogo Cities into a game-changing platform for the AEC industry. Just a little bit about today's flow. We will have the chat open. Please feel free to put any questions in there during the presentation, and we will get to them during the live Q&A at the end. So with all that said, I will turn it over to Mike.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelsey. That was fantastic. Okay, so we got a very intimate presentation today, so feel free to ask any questions throughout the presentation. We're going to be doing just a nice set of updates that the team's been working on. Over the summer, we were very fortunate to get a number of Unreal Engine 5 developers to assist us in development, and the team's been working day and night to bring these updates to life. So we'll showcase those updates. We'll also talk about new AI tools that are coming up, not just on the Geopogo ecosystem, but just new AI tools in general and how we can use them to better render our projects. But also, we've learned that we can use new AI tools to create new programs and plugins. So I'll introduce us to those tools as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll share my entire screen so I can bounce around real quick here. So I should do an overview of Geopogo Cities for anybody that might not be familiar. So let me restart. Actually, this is fine. I think this is good here. So Geopogo Cities is a Windows-based desktop application, and it's built on Unreal Engine 5, and it automates a whole number of procedures of Unreal Engine 5 that basically gives you a powerful 3D city rendition tool for you to present your architecture projects with full city context. And so the team has given you the tool to load 3D city data from nearly anywhere in the world. And so you can see here that we're working with the city of Detroit and Windsor, but you can, of course, load preset data sets from Dubai, Boston, Chicago, Denver, Vegas, London, LA, New York, San Francisco, Vancouver, and more. And of course, you can load data latitude and longitude based for pretty much anywhere on the planet, including places like Antarctica, Greenland, you name it, you can load the data and you can work on your projects there. So Geopogo Cities is getting several new updates this week. Our fingers are crossed. The team is working day and night to get these new updates out. And I'll showcase some of those new updates that we're going to be getting. And so the first major update I want to share, and I'm really excited about because Ian just made this build not too long ago, is the ability to delete existing buildings within your project. And so a lot of architects have asked for this feature because they may have a particular site that they want to delete. an existing building for, of course, a new building. And that took quite some time for the team to build, but I'm really proud of them. They got it and it's here. And so you can start off really simply. For example, here's downtown Windsor, and we can just drop this polyraster tool in, as we call it. And you click this button here called Replace Tiles. And it'll go ahead and it'll delete that entire section. Then Ian's gone and he's made these really interesting tools that allow us to modify and manipulate this. So you can make the site flat, or you can get it to conform to the topography of the site. You can also adjust its height and you can adjust its scale. And so, for example, there we have it. So now we've just deleted quite a massive chunk out of the city. Maybe some urban planners have a brand new vision for downtown Windsor. That's an extreme use case, but we can zoom in. And let's say, for example, a developer has purchased a particular lot. Let's pick on this building here. And we can go ahead and do the same thing. And then we can ultimately, give me a second here, trace out. Oh, we hit a bug. That's why it's in, okay, let's delete that plot. Let's try this one more time. No, that's not gonna, okay, we'll do this then. Okay, just give me a second here. Oh yeah, we hit a, okay, there we go. This is why you demo, why you demo things live. You never know what you're gonna run into, but I'll share this with Ian. But the intent is that you could grab these corners and ultimately trace them around the site so that you could just delete that one building and go from there. So then you can, of course, go in and import your architectural design model on top of the site. Okay, so that's the polyraster tools. I'll be letting Ian know that there's some work to do on them, and we'll fix that up and have that ready for this week's presentation. I'm going to delete that. Okay, so the next part of updates that the tool has made, of course, everyone knows that we have different data layers. So we showcase and feature the Google Maps API data, but we also have what's called the OSM data layers as well. And so we can turn off different data sets and showcase OSM data, terrain data, and of course the Google Maps API data. We can also place buildings within the scene so you can import your models. So file, import, and I'm just going to go ahead and grab a building design model here. We can just delete that really quickly. And so here is a nice SketchUp model that we've brought into the site. And so if you're new to Geopogo Cities, this is the primary use case of the platform, which is bringing your design models into urban context. And so you can go ahead and you can import that design model, and then you're able to present to clients and city council what this project is going to look like within city context. You can see it from different vantage points and angles, and you can also go up to the buildings and you can see different views and vantage points from balconies, from windows, from inside the units if you have them modeled and designed. And you can also walk around these units and you can see all the views. There's a whole number of developers and client types that these particular views are very important to them. You know, what is the balcony views going to be? What's the penthouse views going to be? And instead of spending a great deal of time and money getting drone shots or drone captures to attempt to composite what those scenes will look like, you have that all here ready and available at your disposal. We've also gone in, of course, and put in time of day settings. So you can switch between morning and night. So you can see what different angles and views are going to look like. This is also going to help out greatly for real-time rendering. You can also adjust things like cloud coverage, the amount of clouds, the fog amount. You can do different weather settings. The team will be getting in dynamic weather settings as well, like rain, snow, thunderstorms, a lot of important pieces of visual information for ArchViz. And we can go here. And then we're going to showcase for everyone new into the team or onto the presentations, the team has also built out a robust set of AI tools. And so you can do live presentations with Geopogo, and then you can also re-render the scenes using our AI tools. And so, for example, we can set up a scene like this with our tower, hit render, click AI, grab that scene, and we can go ahead and we can say, and this is prompt rendering. So prompt rendering is a really interesting case where you can go ahead and you can add things to the scenes or get it to re-render with more hyper photorealistic quality. It's a little bit of a trick. There's some magic to it, but ultimately you use as much of your imagination as you can. But I like to keep it simple, so I'll often write something like add cars to the roads and add people on the sidewalks. Just something simple. There is a lot of users on Geopogo that'll write out these massive prompts, everything from they'll describe weather, fogging conditions, volume lighting conditions. We can even say something like render all buildings with PBR materials as per Google Maps 2025, Windsor, Ontario, Canada. All right, let's see what that does. And you can keep going as you continue to write those out. And we can hit render. And we give that just a couple of minutes ultimately to boot up. We're using OpenAI's API to do the image-to-image rendering. So it can take an image and ultimately re-render the image with more detail. And we're using Runway's AI API to create animated videos, which we'll showcase as well in just a second. If anybody has any questions, definitely put them in the chat, and then we can I can answer them here while it's generating the image. Okay, so let's give that a few minutes. Also, I'll be showcasing new data sets that the team has been working on. We've been sourcing a number of advanced data meshes for cities like New York, San Francisco, London. We got Hong Kong and a few other cities of much more highly detailed city mesh that goes a bit beyond the detail of the Google Maps API data or the OSM data. That update should be coming within the next few weeks, and I'll show that data as well in this presentation, probably right after it finishes generating this image.
So Mike, you mentioned so new dynamic settings. So that was that just weather? Is it terrain? I mean, will you have the capabilities of adding to like backdrops and even more options as far as just more of the natural elements surrounding the cities?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the team, and I'll showcase, we'll jump quickly to a slides view. The team's been working on foliage tools.
Mm-hmm.
So you can basically plant trees, forests, landscaping. They've also been working on road tools, so the ability to place traffic.
Nice.
So cars, the traffic in cars really help create a very strong level of realism to the cities. It really helps bring them to life.
Mm-hmm.
And really gives the audience just a great deal of their eyes get addicted to watching it. And you see the cars there and you just can't stop watching.
For anybody who might have missed our 4th of July newsletter, but Mike provided us an amazing image from Geopogo with fireworks. So that was a real treat.
That's it. So you can see here, this is the image that's been generated. And so, of course, I've asked it to add cars and I've asked it to add people onto the scene, and it's done a fairly good job of that. It's also gone ahead and it's rendered out. You can see a lot more detail in the buildings. Sometimes what we've done is we've gone in as well and said, add interior detail through the windows so we can see inside. You can ask it to see inside offices, the windows of homes, things like that. You can get it to add that kind of detail in as well. And it's done a good job as well of re-detailing a lot of the trees that you're seeing here in the scene. And as we update the AI rendering engines we're using, right now it's OpenAI, and the team's been exploring other AI applications like Stable Diffuse, Comfy UI, and Runway's image-to-image generation as well. And what we're all looking for in AI generation is a concept called control nets. And basically, what control nets are able to do for AI image-to-image generation is it works very hard at maintaining the accuracy of the image. And that way there, when you do AI re-rendering, you maintain a strong level of integrity of the image while enhancing or upscaling a lot of the materials and the visuals. And so the team's exploring a lot of that right now for what we can produce. I'll just share some other images that we've done over the past several months. This image here is a gondola example. Windsor and Detroit during the Amazon HQ2 proposals. I think it was back in 2017, 2018 when Amazon was looking at placing their new headquarters. They're looking for a city, and they put out RFPs, and cities all across North America bid for Amazon to come in. And I think Amazon picked Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. The mayors of Windsor and Detroit had ultimately suggested, in addition to the Amazon headquarters being in Detroit and parts of it in Windsor for logistics, they would build a gondola, and that gondola would span between Windsor and Detroit. Of course, back in the time, making those kind of visuals would be very complicated, where we just got AI to be able to pump that image out just by setting up the camera view and then asking AI to create the gondola. And it did that quite well. Here's another scene AI made from cities that Kelsey was talking about that we did with 4th of July fireworks. Some New York scenes. These are nice. This is some really good prompting that achieved this. And then, of course, the Windsor one. So the last thing you can do is with the new tools is, of course, the AI generator, which allows you to create videos. And so, as we know, creating animated videos in our existing tools like Lumion, Enscape, or Twinmotion, usually rendering out the video can take an hour or two, depending on the complexity of the scene and the output of it, where AI is able to pump out an animated video in just a few seconds. So, for example, we can just do something as simple as animate the cars and people. You can go further in depth. You can ask it to move the cameras in whichever direction you want. But I always found less is more. And we can do 5 seconds or a 10-second generation. And I'll go ahead and click generate. And then we'll go from there. So let's give this a couple more seconds. There we go, downloading the video. And we just give, of course, Microsoft a couple seconds here. There we go. And then it's able to animate that scene. And so you can see here that it's animated the vehicles, the people walking, and it's even gone in as a time lapse, and it's gone ahead and animated the clouds for us as that animated video as well. Perfect. So just some other really simple tools. Let me see if the team has it put in here. Yep. Okay, so we have new foliage tools as well. And so the team's gone in and they've added a whole series of different trees and plants that we can place all around the scene. So I'll just select a couple here. And we can go ahead and let's just see here, circle. There we go. And you can see here, we're able to start planting and placing trees. And of course, I'm just being dramatic about it, but you can, of course, pinpoint and, place trees and assets with specificity. So that's the circle, or we can do single planting as well. Or for our nice building here that we have, maybe there's some trees that are put up onto the building itself. They'd be much smaller, of course. But if you ever been to Vancouver, you always see they put trees on their skyscrapers. There we go. Just do something fun like that. And then, yeah, we can basically plant trees almost anywhere. If I had a future vision for the world, it would be we planted trees just all over cities. So hopefully this tool helps inspire that. We'd take streets out and just plant trees on them.
Mike, you're actually not sharing screen. I'm not sure if you meant to.
Oh, did it stop sharing?
It did.
There we go. Okay, how's that? Okay, perfect. When did it stop sharing the screen?
Right when you were starting to do the trees.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you can kind of see here, I've been having some fun planting trees all over the place.
Just a few.
So yeah, these tools are really simple. So you can, plant trees, erase trees.
Can you manipulate them after you've placed them?
No, I don't think so. You can yeah, you can't manipulate them individually. But let's just see here. Yeah, but you can place them one by one if you wish. And then you can do lines of trees like that. Let's see here. Yeah, so you can place trees around as individual ones, or of course you can place them. You can basically paint them all over the scene as well. And so for landscaping, this is just a nice additional tool to your architectural models that you can bring in. Or if you use the delete button to delete a whole section of city, you can go ahead and plant different foliage in here as well. And the teams filled it up with quite the library of different foliage assets. And so that's a really nice feature. And so that was Lev who built out these tools, and he's quite happy with them. So perfect. So I'm going to jump on to the next portion, which is our new city data that we're working at. So this is the Google Maps API data, which is fantastic. But of course, we want to get really nice, clean city street data. And so we've been working at different opportunities on how to enhance that. So I'm just going to showcase some examples of what that could look like in the future. And just to help on performance for my computer, here we go. Okay, can you see my screen? Kelsey, is my screen showing?
Sorry, I was on it. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is brand new data sets that we've been working on, and this is called OSM level 2 data that we're going to be adding in addition to the Google Maps API data and the original white OSM data. And so this is Vancouver, the city of Vancouver, Canada, that we've been working on. And so you can see here that this too also brings in a great level of detail and clarity for cityscape information. And it's a really beautiful data set. Of course, we've gone in as well, and we've started placing in some really nice, much more detailed asset objects, like that's called BC Place, which is a large stadium for hockey. And over here is Vancouver House, which was done by big architects. And so we're going in, and in addition to the OSM level 2 data, we're also adding in these really nice models of real world landmarks, which are just fantastic. And then when you're doing renditions of your projects, these assets can be in there with it. The other great part about the OSM2 data that we're working with is that we're starting to get some really nice street assets that are coming in as well. So we're getting street details that are being able to accompany the OSM data. And we're getting some really nice building textures as well that are starting to come in. And we can see over time the high level of realism is just going to get better and better month over month, year over year, even to the point where you'll be able to peer inside buildings and see inside windows and things like that for your presentations and visualizations. And of course, the other part that we're working on here as well as we continue to detail is getting in those realistic trees. So where the Google Maps API trees are more kind of like blobs of meshes, we've been able to go in now and actually start painting in trees with really nice details, just to help with those, those presentations, just to enhance the high level of realism. So this data should be ready within the next probably early August. I think we would have this data and information in for a whole chunk of cities like Vancouver, Manhattan, San Francisco, Detroit. We just did Hong Kong and a few other cities that are being requested. So if you have a city you're working in and would like this high level of detail for your projects, definitely send us a message or a comment in the links, and we can start to work on that data for you. And I'm just going to show one more. So I'm just going to close this. And this one we're really excited about. Let's go to Detroit. There we go. And so this is one of the future visions. Here, just give me a second here. We're always a little artistic how we show how we present our projects. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to turn the audio off for that. Volume mixer. There we go. Okay. So we released this data set on LinkedIn. If you go on the Geopogo LinkedIn, you can download this model, and we dramatized it. We just went in and, what's something really crazy we could do to showcase these data set layers. And we definitely did that, as you can see. But hopefully it stops raining and the sun comes out. I think it will very soon. But you can see here that we've spent a lot of time really detailing these buildings. And then we've gone in, and this is the city of Windsor across from Detroit. And you can see here that we've figured out how to showcase the interiors of buildings in a clever way. We've found a way to light up the cities at night, and we're getting into some much cleaner road data as well. That's actually working with the open data repositories that allowed us to create the meshes of sidewalks and streets and different information. And so I get this is very dramatized. Hopefully it stops. I can actually, oh wait, the sun's coming out. Let's see. Here, actually, I'm gonna try one more time. This is my fault. We always get a little artistic about it. Okay, there we go. This is, no crazy weather. Okay, so we'll let the daytime appear here. And so you can download this mesh if you go to Geopogo's LinkedIn. The download folder is there, and you can fly through the city. But this is really the level of detail that we aspire to for all cities around the planet. And so, whether it's AI that's going to help us figure out how to do that, or we manually model buildings on request, this is what we want to achieve. And so cities all over the planet would be this well detailed for really the ultimate vision of, Sim City for real cities, urban planning, architectural visualization, the ultimate goal to see the greatest question of, what if we built our buildings like this, or what if the project was orientated like this. Powerful tools like these can really give us really deep insights into what the future impact of our ideas and decisions will make. And then so this data set will be going in as well. And we think it's just phenomenal. And of course, for the cities themselves, for the urban planning departments, they have a really, really powerful tool to aid and assist in that. So I'll fly around for a little bit, but any questions, Kelsey? Any questions?
None currently in the chat. I've just been in awe over with the capabilities that you've been presenting. So it's a lot of fun. You know, it's useful, it's artistic, but it's creative. It's just you kind of want to get your hands in there and create a story.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And we think, especially even with data and maps like this, when we get people in cars walking around and really bring the city fully to life, it's just an incredible, showpiece of our architecture. And, whether you're presenting to city council, your clients, or a community group that, you need their approval for, this tool can really help tell the story of the architecture in a way that they themselves couldn't imagine or visualize. So we'll just spend a couple more seconds in here. Yeah, just perfect.
Obviously your team is working on a lot of improvements consistently throughout the year, almost quarterly, it seems like. So with the Geopogo Cities subscription, is it automatic updates
Yes.
that everybody will take advantage of? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Every single update we do gets sent out to every user, and they get updates. And for as long as they're subscribed, they get updates.
Perfect.
So it's in perpetuity. And we base all updates on feedback from our users. The major ones, of course, were the ability to delete existing buildings for sites. The next one was, of course, everyone's always asking, how do we get the most realistic versions of our cities in 3D for that visualization? How do we do that? And, there's several answers to that question, but I think the ultimate goal is, could we one day train an AI tool or agent to ultimately look at Google Maps API mesh and really start to model or repopulate like this, but do it on a full-blown citywide scale, and be able to do that for every city on the planet that we have information or data for. So, and even as we populate and build this one, we want to get street lamps, trees, all the sidewalks, boulevards, traffic, you name it. It'll be plugged in here as a really beautiful showpiece of what the future could look like for urban planning.
And for anybody that's interested in the subscriptions, any suggestions that ever come up, we at ArchVision are always happy to relay them to the Geopogo team as well, because they do value the feedback and are constantly working on updates based on the user experience.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'll probably end it there with those updates. I could go on for quite a while, but that's probably the best place to start. So keep your eye out for updates from the team. We'll definitely release it on social media when the team does get the updates out. But we really like to think we're building this, really beautiful, powerful visualization and storytelling tool. And of course, our architecture is not built in a isolated box. It impacts the real world, and if we can showcase that impact in the best way possible, then I think we have a really great chance of not only getting our projects built and approved, but also building the best thing possible.
Yeah. And I still don't see any other questions in the chat right now. So unless there's something else that you wanted to touch on, Mike, I did want to just throw out a little teaser there for everybody listening to just check out, follow our newsletters. There's some exciting things that are coming here in the next couple weeks for Geopogo that we are, like I said, excited to share. So,
superb. Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, Debbie, anything else? I guess if not, we can wrap up a little bit early and give everybody back a little bit more time in their day.
I do not, but thank you very much, Mike. It's very fascinating.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, look forward to having you back.
All right, talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.